Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway. Into the action we go today on this Wednesday, October 15th, 2014. Markets are sharply lower, but I repeat, well off of their lows, and it's very possible we have a short-term low on the markets. And again, early in the day we had this massive flush, then a big bounce, then we slowly trailed down. They broke the lows of the day, and you can see the volume right here at the low uptick to basically the highest point in the late lunch hour, and that was the low. And now we've crept all the way back up. Bottom fishers are in, including myself, as I continue to find bargains. And there are a lot of bargains out there, folks. I mean, you could look at almost any sector in the markets. Some of the favorites that I like, U.S. Steel. Take a look at U.S. Steel. It's actually performing pretty well today, considering the markets are still down sharply across the board. You can see U.S. Steel just down 17 cents on the day. But look at this chart. I mean, look at this daily chart. Here's your pivot low right here, which we pierced. And if I zoom out, you have this pivot high right here as well. And look at that. That is a huge area. And what I love about a chart like this is that the downside is so minimal. So let's say you flush down. Okay, so worst case, you go to the 200 moving average. Look at the little bit of risk there. On the upside, the stock is down from over $46 to a low today of $30. That's a $16 drop. Just on a mediocre Fibonacci retrace, this thing should go back to minimally $36 to $37 right up here. And that could be within days. So I see charts like that, and I look at the risk, which is this little bit down here, versus the reward, which is all the way up here, and I say, well, as an investor, why don't I take a shot at that? And sure enough, I have. And other charts out there, I mean, just take a look at some of these charts that are oversold. Right now, Chesapeake Energy, I mean, look at that fall. No bounces from the high of 27 bucks approximately, 27 down to 17. A $10 drop. And percentage-wise, that's even bigger. I mean, we're talking about literally a 30+% drop with no bounces. This is going to bounce at some point. If we look at the bigger picture here, I mean, look at where you're into. See this choppy consolidation? That's support. And what did you hit today? And now are reversing. And Chesapeake is only down now a few pennies on the day. Other things to keep note of, folks, and again, this is pretty wild action. Look at the OIH, and I'm looking at commodities mainly because they've taken the biggest hit, but the OIH is now green on the day, up 18 cents, climbing higher. Look at Chevron, which is a big player. Nice potential bottoming tail if it rallies up just a little bit more. And sure enough, Exxon down $1.14, but look at that tail. I mean, you had really a flush out today in many areas, including in rates. Look at the TBT, which represents, we kind of gauge the 10-year off of this, the 10-year yield on, and again, that's an interest rate. And look at the flush today. This thing literally closed yesterday at $51. It hit a low today on the opening prints of 46. I mean, we're talking about an interest rate here, folks. That amount of a fall is unheard of. And obviously, a lot of the panic coming in today because of the new case of Ebola for another nurse that was treating that gentleman who passed away last week. And sad situation there. My thought process is, though, I mean, you know, there's been Ebola around for 30 years, more than that probably. And it's always been controlled. You know, I don't really think that this is any different. Sure, it takes a little extra work by the CDC, but they'll get it under control and everything will go back to normal. And you'll see a shift in that. And I think more than anything, look at the markets today. I mean, look at the Qs. I actually, and listen, I'm not talking too much here, but I picked up options on the QQQ. Why? Well, just look at the chart. Here's a pivot high. All right. Here's some levels down here, but right here as well. And look at where you are. You pierced the 200 today. This is a 10% drop from high here to low, 10% drop, so you got your 10% correction. To me, markets are now setting up to bounce, and that, again, is how I'm looking at it. So good stuff there, guys, and again, looks very intriguing to me. A lot of areas. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a long-term bounce, and I want to make that clear. Overall, folks, I think that this market is setting up for another down move later on, but I'm all about short-term trading. All right, if I can pick up something and make 10% in 3 days, why wouldn't I do it? And then maybe the markets go down later on, but I mean, in the short term, heck, make that amount of money. That's a great amount of money. So that's what I'm looking to do, folks, and I am more than happy to do that and profit as we always have been doing here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, if we take a look at the dollar today, the dollar, I told members that it was setting up for a bearish breakdown. It did break below this. Where did it go? It said target level was right here. It hit target. So dollar's actually catching a little bit of a bid. Interesting there. Take a look at a couple of these other charts here, guys. U.S. Steel continuing to bounce, just down 5 cents. I want to see a lot of these charts put in bottoming tails. If we go back to the SPY, look at this massive doji. I mean, this is a ridiculous doji on the daily chart. You don't get that very often. But again, look at where it went to, right into this little pivot area, little consolidation right in here, and that is huge support. Look at the rollover from this high at 201 and change, straight down with only one-day bounces occasionally, down to the 182 level, pierce the 182 level. So that's where we sit right now, folks. And again, truly a wild market. And by the way, a lot of these oil stocks are already bouncing in green. Take a look at Cabot Oil and Gas. Look at this move. Cabot Oil and Gas up $1.63. Look at SWN today, guys, up 7%, $2. I mean, this is what I'm expecting on stocks like Chesapeake, which is now going green on the day. This is stocks like Chevron. I'm expecting this on Chevron type plays. Nice bottoming tail. And again, the big culprit is going to be oil and the USO. If you look at the USO, it's down a little bit on the day today, but nice little potential doji. And again, you can see that oil has rallied off the lows of the day, and that's a positive here. And again, if we bring, you can see here it was flushing and then it rallied. Now oil is closed for the day, so it's just going to kind of drift sideways. But really, nonetheless, I do expect a bounce on oil as panics. I think some hedge funds probably blew up yesterday, and now we're looking to get some good action here as we get into the end of the session today. We got about a little less than an hour left to go. Really curious to see where this market closes. Do we get a late day sell-off like we've seen lately? And again, if we go back to the spiders, you can see clearly we're well off the lows of the day. In fact, I wouldn't call it a massive bounce yet, but it is getting darn close to being a pretty impressive bounce. Now, can it hold it into the close? And again, just waiting for my charts. There's so much volume on some of these stocks that it's really hampering some of the charts from coming up here with you guys. Let me just flip back and forth here, see if we can't get that to pop up here. But really, I mean, amazing stuff as things go. Really, absolutely amazing stuff. And this is the type of market that many people love. I love it, although this is even a little volatile for my likings because of the stress level. And you can see the spiders just continuing to grind higher here, folks. Really good stuff. All right, I'm actually going to get going because there's so much action that there's a ton of money to be made here, folks. And I encourage you to come take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center, which is for swing trade alerts. I think we've put about 3 or 4 swing trade alerts out today alone, buying certain plays. I also put out an options alert, guys, which is already in the money nicely. And, if you're with us, it's a wild period. But overall, you're going to make money, we think at least. All right, so come and join us. Check us out. Remember, if you're into options, the options alerts. If you're into swing trade alerts and videos and market analysis and all the proprietary stuff we do, the Research Center is for you. And again, we're here for you to help you navigate through this insane market. Take care.